Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thanks for being here for meditation, our Sunday morning meditation, morning on East Coast time, 10 a.m. We also have YouTube. Sun and Moon Studio has YouTube yoga asana classes, half-hour classes that are so convenient. You can watch them anytime after they play, but they're also Monday through Friday, also at 10 a.m. So again, my name is aLex, and I'm so thrilled to share this passion of mine with you and to meditate together. I have often, during this pandemic time, as I've taught this, guided this weekly class, mentioned how powerful it is for me and how surprising that is, how strong the community can be through the internet. And um, it's a surprise, it's a delightful surprise. And while my own practice, my the commitment to my own practice individually is very precious to me and not always easy to keep up, but I keep at it. The group practice has its own dynamic, its own benefit, and so even in this setting, and even as I'm guiding and narrating our practice together on these Sunday mornings, I don't know if it's real, quote unquote, air quotes, but I feel it. I feel the support, the togetherness, the power of our collective intent, and not just intent, but getting our butts on our cushions. So, so while I speak for a few minutes on artificial intelligence taking over, please, you could stretch and or lie down or do anything. I'll probably speak. I'm going to try to keep it a little shorter. Sometimes it's 8 to 10 minutes, but I'll try to keep it a little shorter today. And then we just sit for, I always choose a 12-minute sit. So then at that point, you'll want to sit more formally, um, comfortably. So whatever support you need, I have a little folded up scarf to support one of my knees that's needs it. You could be sitting on a chair, you could be lying down. Meditation, it's a different energy, but it's allowed. So you could also even do one day, maybe I'll do walking meditation. Walking meditation, the kind I've been doing lately, there's many kinds, but also a powerful practice. So what's AI got to do with this? When we meditate, something we may notice is our thinking mind taking over. Notice that ever? The thoughts. And I will tell you, I often in my meditation, the chatter is nonstop. I catch it and I celebrate that moment, which is a whole other topic on its own. I've learned not to berate myself and send myself to the corner metaphorically, but to catch it and even momentarily step off the train of thought. Often lately I bring my attention back to my breathing. Because when I catch myself thinking, when we're the benefit of this form of practice of sitting still, of choosing not to move, when we notice whatever's in our mind, is that we sort of slow things down and get to see really truly what's happening. So there's thinking, oh, I can't remember now what, there were several threads going on earlier today. And as I caught myself thinking, whatever the story was, I also caught myself tensing in my belly. And so my self advice was to relax my belly and breathe in my belly. So that thinking, storyline, planning, reflecting back, looking forward, all that, as some of my teachers point to, is the construction of a self, of a construction of a continuing or keeping up of what my teacher Russell calls a historic self. And while that self, this is the artificial intelligence. This is the Frankenstein that I'm building of myself. It's certainly true in one respect that I have these plans, that I have had these experiences I'm reflecting on, that I'm sorting out things or making a checklist. Those are not untrue things, but they're a very partial view, as in my thumbnail there that I um, have on our. It's as if this image. It's a facsimile. Oh, this is my face. It's a facsimile of who I am. It's um, and in a sense, some you might even reflect that it actually has no substance at all. If there was an experience in the past, does it even exist anymore? I love these philosophical thoughts, but I also like to bring it down to earth. And sometimes, even in my own self, I struggle with okay, so all of that, even though it's not happening now, it's past, it's gone, let go of it, or it's just not tangible here. It has an impact on my life, doesn't it? And and that is true, so I feel it now. But how we can work on that impact is actually only through the present moment. So it's just, I love this idea of artificial intelligence. I've actually never read Frankenstein, but I intend to. Intend to read the book someday to understand, because the theme is done over and over again in movies. I Robot, I think, with Will Smith is was about that recently. Was it I Robot? Something like that. Um, a more recent production, and um, this idea that the machines we make may be taking us over. This is a big, big, big topic these days, and I'm often thinking about how is it, how I feel, how it's so metaphorical for our own human experience, our own existential or yeah, experience. Okay, enough preamble and ambling, and let's get to this practice that's so valuable. And the value, as you ensure that you set your seat up, is that we more and more start to sense that true self, and how we get to it, how we open up to it, without necessarily negating or denying our past, our future, our thinking, which has important roles, but in folding that into the bigger picture. So my teacher Russell's teachings have been compiled in a book by some of my colleagues, his students, and he always starts the meditation with "Let's bow together," and that is the name of the book that's out, just recently out. So let's bow together. And for these 12 minutes, I often guide us through um, to come into the present through a portal of a short mantra: ground, sound, breath. Ground, sound, breath. Just hearing those words, some of you have heard them here before, and they'll take you right there. And even if you haven't heard my explanations or a little bit more about each of these steps, those symbols may already help you arrive, settle, be here now. we're really doing something extremely simple, almost like a not doing. We're sitting still and we're attending. There's an intention and attention. So today, just now, I usually start with ground, lately sometimes with breath, but what happened here was I was cueing into sound. Let's take sound first. Or maybe you've taken ground or breath already. And surely while I'm guiding, you can be on the journey and use the pointers that you need, your practices, your um, tools that assist you. Strong in my space is the sound of birds, bird song, and my dog snoring. And sound is a little partial to this part of the mantra. I take it to mean everything around, space around, and the relationship to my sensing. So I hear the bird song tweeting outside, and my senses easily catch it right here, effortlessly. And you may have been noticing, even with my words pointing to sound, bird, dog, tweet, senses. You may be noticing the solidity of your body and the ground, whatever is holding you, the chair, the cushion, the floor, the earth. Maybe you may be noticing that through this intentional but gentle setting of our senses to simply be receptive, passively receptive. And you may be noticing that you're breathing. And you may capitalize on that noticing and use it to help bring yourself back if you find you're drifting into the thought arena. catch yourself wrestling with thought or lost in it, either one, there's no problem. If you can learn that response, learn to entertain the possibility of that response. Takes the temperature down quite a bit. It's a simple shift. And the shift is from thinking or being engaged in or with thinking to an opening, kind of a letting go, kind of opening. It is a shift of our attention. Powerful tool. And it's a gentle opening, realizing, understanding, feeling our support in true real time. So the safety of it allows just this opening to who is, to that part of us that is so much more vast, to that truth of us that is seeing all of this and is unchanged by anything and everything that comes and goes. And while the limits of our measuring mind may have trouble grokking the dimensions of our true self, there are no dimensions. More and more, we start to feel, we start to know it through, it just knows itself, but it also knows itself in its reflections. So all the thoughts and movements and restrictions, constrictions, and emotions, they all point back to that which is seeing. perhaps when we can relaxedly know it's never not here. That true self. So to close this short practice together, we again bow, bringing the palms together, left and right, these opposites together in front of the heart, and we bow to hands and heart. And something greater than all these parts is always here for us. So thank you for sitting with me. Thank you for listening, for tuning in. And I hope this practice together supports your practice and your life and your journey. I wish you a good journey today and this week, and to know the safety, security, to more and more know the safety and security and availability of your larger self that we're all in together. Mhm. Oops. There's Sherry, thank you. And Virginia, thanks you all for being here. And I'll see you next week. Ciao.